Greetings, Cyclones. I'm Maria Palazzolo.
And I'm Donovan Kennedy.
We begin with the tragic story of the tornadoes that have swept across the Midwest. On Sunday, at least 35 people were killed by a group of tornadoes that moved through Arkansas, Iowa, and Kansas. Arkansas received the worst of the storm with a tornado that grew to be half a mile wide. Its wind speed of up to 163 miles per hour had the power to completely destroy buildings and anything else in its path. The National Weather Service in North Little Rock said that one of the twisters had the potential to be the strongest storm yet this year and ranked about an EF3 or greater. Many people reported that they are shocked by how horrific the damage really was. There's just really nothing there anymore. We're probably going to have to start all over again, said the Valonia School Superintendent Frank Mitchell. Faulkner County reported 10 people dead, with 4 more dead in other parts of the state. Many people packed into storm cellars and held the doors shut while the tornado fought against them.
In religious news, this past Sunday, approximately 13,000 people gathered in St. Peter's Square, as well as in the surrounding gardens and roads, to watch the canonizations of John the 23rd and John Paul II. In addition to the thousands of people who actually attended the ceremony, millions around the world also viewed it from their own homes. This was the first time 2 former popes have ever been canonized together. Another historic first included in the ceremony was that the 2 living popes were also present for the canonization, Pope Benedict XVI, and Pope Francis. In his homily, Pope Francis described the pair as men of courage, who bore witness to God's mercy. Both the popes who were canonized are widely considered holy and charismatic pastors who helped their 2,000-year-old church to confront the challenges of the modern era. The 2 popes were different in their ways of running the church, as John was very liberal and John Paul was very conservative. By canonizing both at the same time, Francis hoped to use the symbolism of the unity to encourage Catholics to look beyond these divisions and come together in the sharing of the gospel.
The National Honor Society here at Sacred Heart Griffin is undertaking a luggage drive, collecting gently used suitcases, duffel bags, and other similar items for Catholic charities. The intent of the drive is to collect these items and then donate them to the organizations like Sojourn, which helps victims of domestic abuse. Collection days will be May 6th, 7th, and 8th before and after school and during lunch shifts in the Commons. For further information, contact NHS's faculty advisor, Mr. Glitko, or NHS Service Committee member, Connor Etheridge. Now we go to Weird Stuff with Bailey Swift.
Hi, my name is Bailey Swift, and this is Weird Stuff. This week on Weird Stuff is weird robots. We looked all over YouTube to find the weirdest robots we could find. And the first one I thought was actually a horse, but it turns out it's a dog. As you can see, that it's a horse and not a dog. Next up is probably the creepiest robot that we have, is a robot snake. There's also a wild cat, which really doesn't look like a cat. It kind of looks like a weird running guinea pig thing. And last but not least is the flying jellyfish. It's got like weird fly wings or something like that, and it flies. And that's it for this week on Weird Stuff.
Wow, that was really cool, wasn't it?
It looked like a giant guinea pig with really long legs sprinting at you.
That's terrifying.
Now for Word of the Day with the one and only Mr. Becker.
Schadenfreude means taking pleasure in someone else's pain. Here's an example.
You know, it really hurt running into that wall.
With that, we will go to Will Smith with Entertainment Review.
Hi, welcome to Entertainment Review. I'm Will Smith, and today we'll be reviewing Transcendence. This story follows a few scientists, Will and Evelyn Castor and Max Waters, who try to develop a self-aware AI. At the same time, they are threatened by an anti-technology terrorist group called Rift. Rift performs numerous assassination and sabotage attempts on scientists. Will Castor becomes a victim of an assassination attempt, but he survives. However, due to an infection, he's slowly dying, having only a few weeks to live. During this time, he comes up with the idea of transferring his own conscience into a computer. Evelyn, who is Will's wife, and Max Waters succeed with this project. As a result, Evelyn is hunted by Rift, and we ask the question whether or not the AI is still Will, or pretending to be Will to gain power. Another question that is asked is whether or not AI can have emotion. Some cons to the movie is it's kind of long and drawn out. Most of the events are very predictable, and some scenes are disturbing. Pros, the effects are impressive, the movie's quite imaginative, it raises important questions in regard to technology, and it portrays emotion well. For the rating, while the story can be imaginative and the effects look really neat, the outcome ends up being rather dull and boring. The acting was modest in some parts, but mediocre in other parts. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. That's all for Entertainment Review. I'm Will Smith, back to the studio.
Now, let's find the answers to the history mystery question in Today in History with Mr. Lavin.
Now just remember, students, always do your reading. Okay, if you remember last week, the history mystery question of the week was about a race that took place in 1948, and it was only about a 90-foot race, and it ended in a tie. And so the question was, what was really unusual about this great race? And what was strange and unusual about it was that the two contestants had a combined age of over 160. They arrived at the race in an ambulance. One of them was 85 years old, the other was 78. The 85-year-old man was the owner of the Philadelphia Athletics baseball team. The 78-year-old runner was the owner of the Washington Senators baseball team. And that's the answer to last week's question.
From all of us here at the Cyclone Broadcasting Network, thanks for watching. Here are your birthdays of the week.